All right, Jake Schepps, welcome. It's great to see you, man.
Great to see you too, or hear you.
And before anyone gets too excited, I have talked to Jake about doing a full-length interview with you. We tried to perhaps meet up, but I think you were too busy playing around in Spain to meet up last year. So hopefully that will come and be the case someday. But here we're just mostly here to talk about Banjo Summit. Why don't you get us started, talk about, I guess, the mission or the idea behind Banjo Summit is, and just announce what the plans are for this upcoming one.
Sure. So Banjo Summit is essentially an intermediate and up banjo camp, a progressive banjo camp. And I went to I wanted to create a camp that I wanted to go to and that I could learn from. And so we did a few in person in Fort Collins, Colorado. And then when the pandemic hit, we moved it online. So this will be the fourth online camp, and I think the seventh overall Banjo Summit that we've done. And it's all on Zoom, and I know people are kind of tired of Zoom at this point, but we try and make it as engaging as possible. We have an all-star faculty lined up the dates are. Do you want me to get into the dates?
Yeah, might as well. Don't bury the lead here.
Okay, so it's coming up in about 3 weeks from now, or I'm not sure when this will go out, but it's on February 11th and 12th, for Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. And it runs from about noon till 9 p.m. on those days. That's East Coast time, kind of New York City time. So it's somewhat friendly for people who are in Europe and further afield. And it's a little early in the day if you're in Hawaii, but everything gets recorded on Zoom and is posted on the archive, which I'll get into in a second. But we have an all-star faculty, including Wes Corbett, Jamie Stone, BB Bowness, Adam Larrabee, Greg List, Matt Flinner, who most people think of as a fantastic mandolin player, but his first instrument is banjo, and he's really one of my favorite banjo players of all time. Like I live in Vermont right now, and Matt does too, so I actually get to hear him play banjo quite a bit. And he's just fantastic. He's on the new Joe Walsh record, which is a phenomenal record, and is worth kind of listening to him playing banjo there. He last year, Matt's a great teacher, but a year ago now, Matt did a composition project. I'm getting a little sidetracked. I'll continue on the faculty in a minute, but Matt did, starting January 1 a year ago, for the entire month of January, he posted a brand new mandolin tune every single day. Uh-huh. And in the month of February, he put down the mandolin and he posted a banjo tune every single day, brand new. Like some of them were like really bluegrassy, some of them were really melodic, some were really like slow waltzy, and then he posted 100 new tunes for the first 100 days of 2022, like an incredible compositional achievement. And so Matt's going to come and talk about composition. If you go to the banjosummit.org, there's actually I had him send me one of my favorite tunes that he wrote, this kind of cool A minor fiddle tune style song. We have Jens Kruger is our kind of special guest this year. And since during the pandemic, I actually got in touch with Bela Fleck, because knowing he's not out gigging, and it would be hard he has his own camp and he likes to kind of preserve his teaching for there, which I completely respect. But knowing he was home, we kind of started this thing of, it's like a master class in some ways. I'm not sure how to characterize it, but essentially it's just asking all the burning kind of advanced questions to our musical heroes. So we had Bela on a couple times answering these questions. And then last year we had Noam, and this year we got Jens Kruger. And if you've Jens, who is an incredible teacher, and really excited to kind of get behind the nuts and bolts. Like a lot of what Jens, when you listen to him teach, it's just like, it magically happens. It's like, first you just take the banjo and then you write a string quartet for banjo. You're like, there's like a few steps in there that I really want to hear. And so my hope is to kind of get under the hood a little bit with Jens. So we have a 90-minute session with Jens Kruger. We have a concert with Jake Blunt, who is, it's kind of a concert lecture. Jake is a tiny desk concert that he just released, and he's really a phenomenal clawhammer player and fiddler, like this incredible resource, and just extremely knowledgeable about African-American, essentially like the banjo coming over on slave ships, and that transition from being on plantations to becoming an instrument that white people play, but like that transition is really lost, like so much of history that got lost in African-American culture. And he's really kind of dove deep in there. And so Jake Blunt is going to be with us. We have, what else? We do after hours Zooms. And actually, Keith, you're going to be hosting one.
Yeah, that's kind of the Picky Fingers tie-in, is that I'll be, a lot of my listeners know that I do the VIP lounge video meetups, and it's actually not very different from something like that, where it's all the Banjo Summit campers hop on a Zoom call, maybe share thoughts about what they learned that day, what they're working on, just whatever comes to mind. It's just the after hours, happy hour type of situation.
It's a chance to get to hang with a bunch of banjo players, which we seldom get to do. And so while it's virtual, it's still like pretty great. And you're, expert at having attended some of your VIP lounges. Like you really have some good skill at including everybody and kind of making sure people get to hear and play and perform. This year, we're going to have a student concert, which is BB Bowness is going to organize. So kind of a little more focused time if you want to get something together and perform it on Sunday night.
Interesting.
And then everything gets recorded, like, because you can in Zoom, it just kind of automatically gets recorded. And then I build an archive. Essentially, it's like an online archive, a passworded site that you can go and access all of these classes later on. And what I've done in the past, Adam Larrabee, who not only is an incredible player and musician, he's also this master transcriber. And so we've gone on, and other people can contribute stuff, but go into, because Jens will not show up with tablature, but to go in and kind of transcribe what did Jens do and focus on and transcribe those. And so there's like additional resources that over the next few weeks that we post. And so the previous incarnations, we have like all this additional stuff that Bela played, and of like, here's how he played St. Anne's Reel and things like that. And so the archive proves to be this kind of ongoing document of what happened that often at banjo camps gets lost.
Yeah, that's a really, I don't want to say underappreciated, because I know people do appreciate it, but that's maybe a more important factor than what we would normally let on, because that is the difference. Like you said, everyone is sick of doing Zoom, but it's not without its benefits doing a camp like this. I've found myself, maybe I have times where I'm sick of everything I'm working on. I don't know what to do. At any given time, I can pull up and take my class with Wes Corbett or whoever it is and be re-inspired as if it was the first time I was there. And you can't do that with any other camp, where you walk out of the class and are like, wow, that was a lot of information. I hope I remember any of it. You don't have to have that pressure on yourself. That's like the really great aspect to this camp.
Right. And if you record, like if you went to one of the, Rocky Grass Academy or Kaufman Camp and you recorded or even filmed it, like you don't have, somebody is not teaching to the camera at that situation of like, this is them teaching and explaining this with like tablature right at hand. So that's been, if anybody's interested, actually, we sell access to the previous archives. Kind of, it's private for the campers for about the first 6 months, and then it gets released to the public. And so those, if you wanted to see how Bela does play St. Anne's Reel, those are available on the website as well at banjosummit.org. But
and then bottom line, I don't think you gave the price yet. What do people have to fork over to take advantage of all this?
Only $199, but we are doing a discount, or we're running it. If you use the code PickyFingers, you get a 10% discount on tuition. So down to $179. We Banjo Summit is we profit share, and so everything that you can give to us, like, all goes to faculty. These are faculty who are, they're all our banjo heroes. They're my banjo heroes.
Yeah.
So, as much as you can give, there's actually there is an option on the invoice that I send that you can tip, and so all of that goes to them. It's not a tip for me, but it's all going to our faculty, just because it really proved to be a great opportunity during the pandemic to pay these artists that were not able to tour. And it continues to be. I mean, music is a tough business these days, as it always has been. But,
yeah, that's good to know. And I think, $199 doesn't sound particularly like a lot, but especially once you divide it up, and maybe how much would 10-hour-long lessons with top professionals cost you by the half hour? I think it pays for itself in that way. So, well, there you have it. Anything else we missed about this? You know, I've attended the last few. I can personally vouch for it being a high-level learning experience, a really inspirational experience, and just a good community to be hanging with.
Yeah, I think it's billed as an intermediate and up, and I struggle with what intermediate means, or advanced, like these kind of how the labels are. It's like we're all beginners at something, and I learn things all the time. I feel like I'm a constant beginner, and many musicians, as they get better and better and kind of delve into other worlds. And so we've had many students who, like, there's no basics of like, here's how to put your picks on, here's how to keep time, or here's how chord progression, just basic 3-chord chord progressions work. But we've had a lot of students that couldn't play banjo very well show up and really glean a lot of information. And what's great about it is, you might find like that learning Earl Scruggs' Cripple Creek is not for you, but learning a kind of Travis style, kind of arrangement might be. And you spend the time working, or you want to learn classical pieces. Adam Larrabee is going to focus on Bach. Like, that might be your calling more, and you're going to find inspiration and kind of direction with that, even no matter at all levels. We've had extremely advanced students just glean incredible amounts, as well as very beginner students kind of glean a lot. And so don't be afraid, or just send me an email. My email is director@banjosummit.org. Send me, or there's a contact form at banjosummit.org. I'm happy to answer kind of any questions, but I'd say don't be afraid. And the archive will be up forever, is a long time on the internet, but the archive will be up as long as we can maintain it. And so if now you're not ready to learn the Bach piece that Adam teaches, a year from now, you very well may be ready. And then it's there waiting for you.
Exactly right. Well, thanks a lot, Jake. I'm really looking forward to it. And anyone who ends up being there on the Saturday night, make sure you come say hi to me for the after hours video meetup. And you won't regret it.
Great. Thank you, Keith.
All right. Thanks, Jake.